Krav Maga's origins are far removed from the controlled environment of a modern gym. It wasn't born in a sterile dojo with polished floors and respectful bows, or on a padded mat designed for safety and comfort. There were no referees, no protective gear, and no rules of engagement. Instead, it was forged in the crucible of 1930s Bratislava, a city on the brink of chaos, a place where the veneer of civilization was rapidly eroding. The streets were a battleground and the air was thick with tension and uncertainty. It was a time and place where violence was real, a constant threat lurking around every corner. Survival wasn't a theoretical concept. It was the only rule, the only objective that mattered in the face of escalating brutality and unchecked aggression. This is not a sport. There are no points to be scored, no trophies to be won, and no rounds to prepare for. It's a system built for the darkest moments, the desperate situations when your life is on the line, when every second counts and every decision could be your last. It's about getting home safe, no matter the cost. At the heart of this evolution was Lichtenfeld, a champion boxer and wrestler, a man of exceptional physical prowess and unwavering determination. He witnessed firsthand the growing threat as he saw his Jewish community increasingly under attack by fascist gangs, their hatred fueled by prejudice and their actions marked by violence. He realized that traditional martial arts, with their emphasis on ritual and form, often failed to provide effective defense in the unpredictable chaos of street ambushes, where multiple attackers and improvised weapons were the norm. Driven by a sense of responsibility and a fierce desire to protect his community, Emi gathered young men to defend their neighborhood, forming a self-defense group prepared to stand against the rising tide of violence. They were constantly facing armed attackers in desperate brawls where the stakes were incredibly high and the consequences of failure were dire. He learned quickly, through trial and error, through the harsh realities of street fighting. He discovered that complex moves failed under pressure, that elaborate techniques were too slow and cumbersome in the heat of the moment. Instead, simplicity and aggression worked. Direct and decisive actions were the key to neutralizing threats and surviving encounters. Emi stripped away anything impractical, discarding techniques that were ineffective or too difficult to execute under duress. He began focusing on what ended fights fast, regardless of size or strength, emphasizing techniques that could quickly disable an opponent and create an opportunity to escape. This brutal street lab, this relentless testing ground of real-world violence, became the foundation of Krav Maga, shaping its core principles and defining its ultimate purpose. He built a system on instinct, recognizing that in a life-or-death situation, there's no time to think, only to react. Krav Maga trains you to turn a flinch, that natural reaction to danger, into a block and counterattack, transforming a moment of vulnerability into an opportunity to strike back. Krav Maga targets the body's weak points, those vulnerable areas that can be exploited to quickly neutralize an attacker. Eyes, the windows to the soul, but also a highly sensitive and easily damaged target, throat, groin. The great equalizers because, regardless of size, strength, or skill, these targets are universally vulnerable. It's not about honor. There's no room for chivalry or fair play when your life is on the line. It's about survival, pure and simple. It's about doing whatever it takes to make it home. Emi's most important lesson. The core philosophy that underpins all of Krav Maga training: when your life is at stake, there are no rules. Anything goes. Your only responsibility is to protect yourself and those you care about. This raw, unfiltered approach, this willingness to abandon convention and embrace practicality, is what makes Krav Maga powerful and enduring. A system that has proven its effectiveness in countless real-world scenarios. The system was born from necessity, forged in the fires of adversity, and tempered by the harsh realities of street combat. And its only prize, the only reward that truly matters, is survival. Emi's journey led him to the British Mandate of Palestine, where his reputation caught the attention of the Haganah. They needed a system to train soldiers quickly for real combat. Emi's street-tested methods became the backbone of the new Israeli Defense Forces. He refined Krav Maga for the military, simple, adaptable, and effective for everyone, from commandos to support staff. Techniques were constantly updated based on real combat feedback. If something failed, it was changed or discarded. Krav Maga became more than techniques. It became the mindset of the Israeli soldier: decisive, aggressive, and focused on survival. Krav Maga's core is simplicity, a principle that guides every technique and tactic. It's about stripping away the unnecessary and focusing on what truly works when your life is on the line. We're not interested in complex sequences or flashy displays. There are no fancy moves, just what works under stress. In a real-world confrontation, fine motor skills often fail due to the overwhelming surge of adrenaline. Krav Maga acknowledges this reality. Adrenaline kills fine motor skills, making intricate movements impractical and unreliable. The body reverts to its most basic, primal instincts. So Krav Maga uses gross, powerful movements, techniques that rely on large muscle groups and natural body mechanics. These are the movements that remain effective even when fear and adrenaline take over. Straight punches delivered with force and directness, palm strikes, using the heel of the hand to target vulnerable areas, low kicks. These are all simple yet devastatingly effective tools. The system works with your instincts, leveraging the body's natural reactions to danger. It doesn't try to override them with complex techniques that require conscious thought, turning natural flinches into blocks and counterattacks. This instinctive response is honed through repetitive training, making it a reliable defense mechanism. Retsev, continuous motion, a core principle that emphasizes relentless forward pressure, means you don't pause, you don't give the attacker a chance to recover or regroup. You overwhelm the attacker until the threat is gone. This aggressive approach is not about bravado, it's about decisively ending the confrontation as quickly as possible. There's no fair fight, and Krav Maga recognizes this harsh reality. Target the eyes, throat, groin, and knees, universal off switches. These are vulnerable points that can be targeted to quickly disable an attacker regardless of their size or strength. This lets anyone, regardless of size, defend themselves. Krav Maga empowers individuals to overcome size and strength disadvantages by focusing on technique and targeting vulnerabilities. Mental readiness is as important as physical skill. The ability to remain calm and focused under pressure is crucial for effective self-defense. Training builds aggression and a warrior mindset, cultivating the mental fortitude to face danger head-on, switching from calm to explosive action in an instant. This rapid transition is trained through realistic drills and simulations. Drills simulate chaos, replicating the unpredictable nature of real-world confrontations, building confidence and mental toughness. This resilience is forged through challenging training scenarios that push individuals beyond their comfort zones. The goal, unwavering determination to do whatever it takes to get home safe. It's about prioritizing your safety and well-being above all else. Krav Maga is about ending violence quickly, decisively, and efficiently, not fighting for honor. There's no room for ego or pride when your safety is at stake. It's survival, pure and simple. It's about going home. Krav Maga's true test isn't in a controlled environment, it's in the unpredictable chaos of real life. It's about how you react when adrenaline surges, when fear grips you, and when your survival instincts kick in. Take Sarah, for example. She was attacked in a parking garage, a place where many feel vulnerable. The dim lighting and enclosed space created a terrifying scenario, but her training kicked in almost instinctively. Years of practice had prepared her for this exact moment. First, a heel to shin, disrupting her attacker's balance. Then, a forceful stomp to further incapacitate him. An elbow to the ribs, targeting a vulnerable area, followed by a series of rapid palm strikes to create distance. She escaped because she fought back without hesitation, using the techniques she had ingrained through rigorous training. Her quick thinking and decisive actions turned the tables on her attacker. Consider Mark. Confronted by two men at an ATM, a situation that could quickly escalate into a dangerous robbery. He used a distraction, creating an opening for explosive action. He disarmed a knife wielder, preventing a potentially fatal attack. Then he struck the second attacker, disrupting their coordinated assault, and escaped, avoiding further confrontation and ensuring his safety. Both didn't just defend, they didn't simply react passively to the threats they faced. They took control, using aggression and decisive action to neutralize the threats and create opportunities for escape. Krav Maga teaches you to react instantly, without hesitation or second guessing. Overwhelm threats with a rapid and forceful response, and prioritize escape as the ultimate goal. The goal isn't to win a fight to prove your strength or dominance, but to survive and get away to protect yourself and your loved ones. These stories aren't rare anecdotes, they're not isolated incidents. They're proof the system works, a testament to the effectiveness of Krav Maga's principles and techniques. Training builds the mindset, the mental fortitude needed to face danger head-on, to switch from victim to aggressor, to take control of the situation and fight for your survival. You don't freeze in fear, you don't succumb to panic. You act decisively, responding with speed and precision. Krav Maga's principles: threat assessment, quickly identifying potential dangers; decisive action, responding with appropriate force; and escape, prioritizing your safety above all else. Save lives, potentially your own and those of others. It's not about looking good in the gym, performing impressive moves for an audience. It's about surviving the worst moments, when your life is on the line. That's the legacy of Krav Maga, a legacy of survival and empowerment. Today, threats aren't just physical, they're digital. Krav Maga's principles of awareness and assertiveness now apply online. Training builds confidence to set boundaries, recognize manipulation, and respond to harassment. Schools teach digital safety, securing profiles, spotting red flags, and handling online threats. The mindset is proactive. Your digital and physical safety are linked. An online threat can become a real one. Krav Maga evolves to protect against all forms of danger, not just physical attacks. It's about living safely and confidently in a connected world. Police need a system that works under stress and stands up in court. Krav Maga's rapid threat neutralization and control techniques fit the bill. Officers learn to de-escalate, but also to dominate when needed, using pain compliance, joint locks, and takedowns. Weapon retention is critical. Krav Maga's methods are simple and effective. Drills make responses instinctual, saving lives in close quarters struggles. Mental conditioning prepares officers for chaos and helps avoid fatal hesitation. The system empowers law enforcement to stay safe and protect the public. Krav Maga is a lifeline for those who face danger every day. Krav Maga's greatest gift is empowerment. For many, especially women, it's a revelation. You have the right to defend your space and use your voice. Success in training builds confidence that radiates into daily life. Calm under pressure in the gym translates to resilience at work and home. Confident posture and assertiveness deter predators before an attack even starts. Training pushes you past your limits, building resilience and self-belief. Survivors of trauma reclaim control and rewrite their story. Everyone, men, women, kids, discover strength they didn't know they had. Krav Maga transforms fear into quiet, powerful confidence. Krav Maga is for everyone, regardless of age, size, or ability. Classes mix teens, seniors, women, men, and people from all backgrounds. Techniques are adapted for physical limitations. The core principles stay the same. This democratizes self-defense. Anyone can learn to protect themselves. Training builds trust and camaraderie. Your partners become your allies. The gym is a safe space for growth and support and overcoming fear. Specialized classes serve kids, seniors, and everyone in between. Krav Maga builds not just fighters, but a community of protectors. Krav Maga is always evolving, shaped by new threats and real-world feedback. Its core practicality over tradition, constant refinement, and innovation. Instructors worldwide update techniques and share ideas, keeping the system cutting edge. The future will focus even more on awareness, de-escalation, and avoiding violence. Technology like VR will create realistic training, preparing students for every stage of a threat. The promise remains: you have the right and ability to protect yourself. Krav Maga was born from survival and thrives because that need is universal. As long as violence exists, Krav Maga adapts to meet it. Its message: don't be a victim, be prepared, be confident, be safe. This is Krav Maga, a power for everyone, everywhere. Feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button, and you will be alerted on the next new content. If you want more, select a video on your screen and I will see you there.